Hello, this is workshop 8 in a series of 10 workshops on researching your family history in Ireland. In workshop 7 we looked at BMDs, births, marriages and deaths, civil births, marriages and deaths, and church baptisms, marriages and burials. And we saw the sort of information that was likely to be contained in each. Now, one of the reasons why researching family history is so popular now is quite simply because it is on the internet and it is so much easier to do. In the past, you had to be very dedicated, because if you were looking for records of births, marriages and deaths, or baptisms, marriages and burials, you would either have to go to the churches or where the church records are stored in Belfast, which is the Public Records Office of Northern Ireland, or else you would have to go to the General Registry Office, which is where civil records are stored. And if you went to for example, the General Registry Office in Belfast or in Dublin, you would then have to look through indexes to those births, marriages and deaths, and you'd have to scroll through lots and lots of films for lots and lots of years, because you wouldn't know exactly what year the person was married in or died in or was born in, and it can take an awful long time. Worse still, if you had to go and look in the church records, well, which church do you actually go and look at? There could be several, for example Presbyterian churches in particular, that you could look for, even Catholic or Church of Ireland churches. And don't forget, some of these Presbyterians and Catholics could be registered in Church of Ireland churches. So you would be trekking round churches forever, and depending upon the goodwill of the clergymen, who are extremely busy people, and asking to see their registers. Luckily, with the advent of the internet, we now have websites which have collected together all of that information on civil records and the indexes, and also a lot of church records, and they've put them online. So all you have to do is to enter a name, hit the search button, and instantly you will be searching a lot of the civil births, marriages and deaths, and quite a few church births, marriages and deaths as well. Now, there are several sites where you can do this. There are several pay sites, but there is also one free site which will give you an awful lot of information, and that is called FamilySearch. FamilySearch is the website of the Mormons, who have made it their business to film a lot of records, including births, marriages and deaths, and put them online. And that's what we want to look at now, is using FamilySearch to find births, marriages and deaths. So how do we find the FamilySearch website? As always, simply using Google, type family search into it, all one word, because that's how it will appear as a website. And there it is there, FamilySearch.org. This is the Mormons' main website. Now, here's where you enter the information. I'm going to take as an example a family which I was researching very recently, and I wanted to find, if possible, the marriage of a Robert Mulligan. So we type his name in here, first name R-O-B-E-R-T, Mulligan, M-U-L-L-I-G-A-N. Sometimes these Mulligans were referred to as Milligans, M-I-L-L-I-G-A-N. Luckily, unlike the Griffiths Valuation Database and the Census Database, this Mormon database is not spelling sensitive, so I will get Milligans and Mulligans coming up together. Remember, one other thing I said too, less is more. So at the beginning, we don't want to enter any more information other than his name. Robert Mulligan, hit search. It's searching for Robert Mulligan in all of their records, and they have got 10,421 records referring to Robert Mulligan. Well, it took me an awful long time to look through all of those, but luckily the Mormons have on their website various limiters. They've actually got two sets of limiters. They've got these ones in blue, which can be very useful, but I tend to use this second set down here, which are in black, so that you can see, for example, there's limiters that refer to where this person might have been born, where he married, or where he died down here. Well, I'm looking for a marriage, so I'll click on marriage place. You click on the button, you get a little box and you can choose from various places in the world. United Kingdom and Ireland, there's only 66 of them, so I'm limiting it down now from the original 10,000 records down to 66. But I can limit it down a little bit more as well, so if I go down here again and click on the first one that we already have, United Kingdom and Ireland, click it again and I get more choices. It's Ireland we want. It looks for the Robert Mulligans getting married in Ireland, and it's now limited it down to 49. I can limit it down even more because I know these people were from County Tyrone. So I click on here, click on Ireland yet again, another window comes up and I can choose County Tyrone. There it is down there. Clicking on County Tyrone now, there's only 7 of them. I actually recognise which one it is up there, but just to show you how the limiters work, if we weren't too sure, we could also limit it down by year, because I know this man started to have children in about 1858. So therefore he has to have been married sometime shortly before that, in the 1850s. So if I click on marriage year, we get a choice of 1700s or 1800s. There might have been 1900s there as well if it was a bigger name. Click on 1800s and then go down again to where the 1800 has now come up. There are 6 people in 1800. Click on 1800 and we get a choice of 1840 and 1850. Well, I'm going to click 1850 first of all. And there's 4 of them. We've now limited it down from 10,000 to 4 records of a Robert Mulligan getting married where I knew he got married, which was in County Tyrone, or that's where I suspected it anyway, and I suspected in the 1850s. And here we have a choice of 2 Robert Mulligans. One getting married in 1852 and one getting married in 1854. If you remember from the last workshop, I said that it was important to know what registration district that the person, that the event took place. Not the townland that the person was from, but the registration district. Having done some research on Robert Mulligan already, I know that he lived in the registration district of Clogher, not Omagh. So this is very likely to be my Robert Mulligan here. If you go over to the extreme right hand edge, you can click to show what information they have. And it's not an awful lot of information because this is a civil registration index. It's not the certificate, it's only the index. That's all there is. I want the certificate. So I look at the information they give me. I've got his name, I've got the registration district, I've got the date of the marriage, and crucially I have the volume and the page number down here, and I can take all of that information and I can apply to the General Registry Office in either the Republic of Ireland or Northern Ireland and ask them for that certificate. Now that doesn't, neither of them will send it to you online. That's not actually quite correct because they are both moving to online records at the moment. But I have found that if you use the offline one and if you use the Republic of Ireland, it is significantly cheaper. You can get it for €4, which is about £3, whereas an online one I'm told is going to cost €20, and a certificate of any sort from Northern Ireland is about £12 or £15. So the cheapest place to get it is in the Republic of Ireland's General Registry Office. So how do I find that? Again, it's Google. So we call up Google, General Registrar's Office we could type in, or just GRO, but I want the Irish one, not the UK one, so IRELAND, GRO Ireland, and there it is, groireland.ie. So clicking onto it, this is their website. Down the left hand side, the menu. I want to apply for a certificate. Click on there. Applying for certificates. Birth, adoption, marriage, deaths. I want a certificate of marriage. I'm going to have it in English rather than Irish. So I click on here and it downloads. I have to print that off, fill in the details and send it to that address. details you have to fill in are down here. And this is where it becomes very important that you have the information from the Mormons. We can write the forename and the surname, full postal address. These forms were designed for modern marriages. That's what they're really for. So you will know the full postal address if it's a modern marriage, but we're not using them for that purpose, and they're quite used to us not using them for that purpose. So instead of putting full postal address in here, we want the registration district so that they will know which volume to look up. So you write registration district in here. Remember, it was Clocher. So registration district, Clocher. Leave out that and that. Now, they also want, because it's a modern certificate, PPS number of either of the two people who got married. Now again, they didn't have PPS numbers back in the 19th centuries, but what they do have is the volume and the page number, so that they know what year to look up, and they know what volume to look up, and they know what page to look up, so they can go straight to that particular certificate that you have directed them towards. They don't have to conduct a search. If they had to conduct a search, they will charge you more. If they don't have to conduct a search, you can send them just €4, because that's the price for a certificate where you don't have to search. There it is up there, €4. So you only send €4 for each one of those. Now going back again to where we were. Robert Mulligan, we found his marriage in the registration district of Clocher in 1854, and we got the volume and the page number, and this was the Mormons using a database of civil registration indexes, so we could send off for that marriage. But I'm sure some of you may have already noticed that when we searched for this marriage, we also managed, or the database called up Robert Mulligan here. There he is, 1854, Clocher. Same person. This is the man we're looking for. That's because they've got another database as well as the index to civil births, marriages and deaths. They have a database of quite a few church records which they've collected over the years, and they just happen to have the one that we want, so we wouldn't have to send off for it at all. If we go over to the right hand side here, there's James Mulligan. I know he married a lady called Anne because I've seen James and Anne Mulligan as the parents of somebody. Perhaps I didn't know her maiden name. All of a sudden, there it is, the maiden name of James Mulligan's wife, Anne Nixon. And again, we can get the details by clicking on here on the right hand side, drop down menu, Robert Mulligan marrying Anne Nixon. There's the date, there's where they get married, and there's the crucial information, the gold dust that we wanted from this certificate in the first place. The name of Robert Mulligan's father. This could be your great-great-grandfather if you were researching Robert Mulligan. And there is Anne Nixon's father. So you've now suddenly got two new great-great-grandfathers, James Mulligan and George Nixon. That's what it's all about, folks. That's using the databases and using the information that you know about what is in certificates in order to find the certificates and to find the information online. Now remember what we said. If you have found this workshop useful, can I ask that you, that's where you may have been viewing it there, that's workshop number 1. Can I ask that you like it, click on like here, and that you subscribe as well, because the more people who like these videos and who subscribe to them, the more popular they will become, and the more the more Google will find them easily, and more people throughout the world will be able to see these videos and be able to find them and see them. So if you like them, please click like and also subscribe, and if you wish to, we've lost it now. There is a space for comment. There it is in there, it's underneath that box. If you wish to, you can post a comment in there, and all of those comments will come to us and we will look at them, and we will make a program in the future answering some of the questions that you might like to ask on any of these workshops. And if you are subscribed to the Monria channel in YouTube, you will receive notification of those new programs. Thank you very much.